Hey guys, Ricky here from the Onside Kick. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of input about the third overall pick in what would be now tonight's draft because it is Thursday. Me and Dave are going to put up a video on our reactions together, but because due to some editing issues, I'm just going to give you my overall thoughts on the pick and where I think the Vikings should go with it. They got a few options. They can either trade the pick or draft Justin Blackmon, Morris Claiborne, or Matt Kalil. First off, I just want to get this out there right now. I think that the least obvious, or not the least obvious, but the least, what they shouldn't do, Morris Claiborne. We signed Zach Bowman, we have Asher Allen, Antoine Winfield. Corner's not a huge concern for us. Now looking at a little bit of difference should they take Matt Kalil or Justin Blackmon if they weren't going to trade it. Justin Blackmon gives them that excitement factor. The Minnesota Vikings, me being a fan of them, they're a franchise that's basically at the bottom of the barrel. New quarterback. They're building a new stadium because theirs fell apart basically. And they need that one player to kind of help them sell jerseys, sell tickets, get the franchise back to how it was in the Randy Moss, Chris Carter days. That's all I think Justin Blackmon adds to the Minnesota Vikings, besides his top end speed and his able to make a catch out of basically anything. Besides that, and personally, my best receiver, the top receiver I think in this year's draft, I would go Michael Floyd over Justin Blackmon. I think Justin Blackmon, it's all about the hype. It was all about, oh, look at what he did against Stanford, against this team, that team. Michael Floyd kind of, yes, at Notre Dame, people knew about him, but this draft, he's kind of flying under the radar compared to Justin Blackmon. Matt Kalil, on the other hand, a blue chip offensive tackle that the Vikings can take at the third overall pick. Matt Kalil's obviously not the third overall player prospect-wise in this draft. If we're looking at that way, it's got to be Trent Richardson. But looking at the needs, I'm saying the Vikings should draft Matt Kalil. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, well, Ricky, you didn't even talk about them trading the pick. And that's because I think they should keep the pick and either draft, if they're going to draft Justin Blackmon, go ahead and do it. But I think they should draft Matt Kalil. Because trading down in the draft, I don't think will help the Vikings as much as Matt Kalil. And I know some people have the argument out there that, oh, well, the offensive talent, the talent is different. You could take Matt Kalil, or you can take a kid like David DeCastro, Jonathan Martin, and still have that same effect on your franchise. Me personally, as a Vikings fan, I'm a little biased in this pick. I just think that the safe decision is the right decision with Matt Kalil. The only trade I would want to see the Vikings pull the trigger on is if they could only go down to the fourth pick with the Cleveland Browns or the fifth pick with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, having those teams trade up, give us a little bit of maybe their first rounder and then some, but I don't think that'll happen. I think when it all comes down to it, the Vikings they're going to take their time. It won't be a pick that happens really quickly. It'll probably happen late in the draft counter, but I think when it's all said and done, Matt Kalil will be drafted third overall by the Minnesota Vikings. It's a pick that I think is the safe pick, but the right pick. Tell us what you think. Leave us a comment down below. Tell us, do you think the Vikings should go with Matt Kalil? Should they go with Justin Blackmon? Should they trade the pick? Let us know. Also, don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TheOnsideKick.